Hello from the Dreamport Discord server. I'm Shadows Pub, bringing you Pimp Your Post Thursday. On the show today, we'll share posts, meet others, and have some fun. You can share your own posts or someone else's you really like. To take part, drop the PYPT emoji into the show text channel. I'll add you to the list to take your turn sharing posts. When I call on you, add your post link to the text channel, come on voice to tell us about it. Keep it brief, like a short commercial for the post. If you can't do voice, it's okay. You can share by text, but text and link must be ready to paste into the text channel when I call on you. And Gray is going to lead us off this morning. There we go.
All right. I think I'm doing this right. Thanks, Shadows. I so I've been writing on Medium for several years now, and I write about a lot of different subjects. One of them has been some of the aspects of ChatGPT and AI stuff, both practical uses and some of the covering the all the fear and the what's going to happen, and this is changing everything. So I have a good friend who is a professor at a university, and they told me about a student who very blatantly used ChatGPT to generate the answers, and how and why she was or the way they were able to figure out that it was being done, which I thought was amusing based on the clues. So that's why this is on there. Thanks. I don't know if you're talking about my voice or you're talking about the voice of the article, but I like it. Um, but yeah, it's an amusing, quick article. It's like 600 words, and I think the funniest, literally number three, will probably make you laugh the same way I did. There's my
Number
commercial.
3. Gonna have to read the
So,
post to find out, guys.
yep. Thanks.
Well done, Gray. I really find that amazing that a student would have the nerve to use ChatGPT to write an exam. You'd think they'd be afraid of getting caught. Like, literally caught while doing the exam.
Well, it was an online exam, so all the students take it in their own time, in that. But that was one of the giveaways, was how long it took them to do the exam. So it's not a traditional exam like the sitting in a classroom. Um,
Ah, that's why she thought she'd get
apparently,
away with it.
apparently they don't do that very often anymore. Do all kinds of
So,
no more blue notebooks.
Gray, to answer your question in regards to Hive, Hive is a blockchain that actually a lot of people here write on, but at PYPT and in Dreamport, which Dreams Team runs, um, we welcome writers from everywhere. So if you're curious about the blockchain, we can fill you in.
Not gonna fall for that again. Um, no, I will look into that more. Yeah.
Well, the Hive space that you've heard Alexandra talk about on Tuesdays,
Hmm.
that's one of the topics we talk about. That's why it's called Hive Space, is we talk about the Hive blockchain.
Nice. Yeah, I'd love to know more about that.
And Dream is going to drop your post into Dreamport. Dream, would you like to take a
Thanks.
moment to explain what Dreamport is?
Sure. Hi there, Gray. I'm Dream.
Hi.
So we created it so that people all over who are doing their content and normally struggle, especially in the beginning, to have visibility. We did it so that we would do it as like a pay it forward curation. So when you want to come to Dreamport and share your work to be seen by others, we ask you first to read 5 posts that are randomly selected for you. You would read them, then you would rank them, and then after that, you get to put your post in for the next day's curation. Today, however, I was saying I would put your post in today for tomorrow, but today, every month, we do a challenge with a different community. And this month, we're doing a challenge for Hive Memorial Forest, which is where people can do tributes to people or pets that they've lost. So today's challenge is for that. So I will put yours in tomorrow. And since we take the weekends off, yours will be open for curation on Monday. So maybe you get some dreamers that come by and engage. We definitely encourage people to talk in the comment section, to share, just a little bit about themselves and welcome them from Dreamport. And so maybe you will see some of them on Monday and then you can engage with them there. The end.
I
Thanks. Sounds
should
great.
ask you, Gray, did you use the friend link on the one that you dropped into
Yes,
PYPT?
I did. At
Excellent.
least I'm pretty. I intended to anyway. So yeah, it should
Yeah.
be. If there's any trouble with it, then don't take it off.
Excellent. Excellent start. Thank you, Gray. And Strega, you're up.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is another post about my time in a stop motion studio and my work there. I was working there for like nearly 3 years. Actually, 2 seasons of the series. That was series made for kids mostly. But was cool. I think the job was really, really, really nice, and I've learned a bunch. And I did one post like a week ago about like my let's say interview, and this is another one. It's about like to shed a little bit of light on the process of the making the actual stop motion dolls. In particular, here is about faces and heads of the puppets. So I hope you like it, and yeah, that's me for now.
So Wandering Moon wants to know, did you do the eyes to get hired?
Oh yeah, that was me. Yeah, I was working with eyes, but that was actually base for the eyes, like the actual balls, like made out of resin. But like after that, you have like there's so long process to get those eyes looking like lifelike, if that makes sense, because you have to put not only paint, but apart from resin, you have to use transparent acryl so those eyes actually look like they're like normally you have like your eyes have this transparency kinda. So yeah, you would use that, and you would use paint underneath this transparent piece as well. So it actually you can actually sometimes look on the actual doll's eyes. They are kind of glassy looking. So yeah, this is like process is quite similar, but it's like handmade. So it takes a while, but those eyes looks like creepy nearly alive. But yeah, it is crucial for stuff like that, because like the classic doll eyes wouldn't work under camera at all. They look odd and scary, and that's why you have to do this all by yourself, and it takes like ages to paint, to do like levels and layers of the color. So it's like depth of the color and depth of the actual the look of this ice. So it is cool. Like I was making only small part of the working on the ice, because like our boss Sylvia wouldn't actually say how to make all the way those stuff, like all the steps of the process. That was her little secret. So yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
enjoyed your time doing stop motion.
Yeah, I did. I actually did.
Thank you, Strega.
Thank you.
And Xander, you're up. I assume it's Xander today. Is it Xander or is it Cherry? Okay. Got your post ready? Okay, that was quick and to the point. Do you believe in ghosts? Please read and enjoy. Okay. And Wandering Moon is going to be next. Wandering Moon is up. There she is. Aha! She's sharing Pendress today.
That good or bad?
I think it's good. Penn doesn't like to blow his own horn, so you're going to have to do it for him.
I'm sorry, say again.
I said Penn doesn't like to blow his own horn, so you're going to have to do it for him.
No, that's not a problem. I thought this was I thought this was an interesting article. He was looking into W3C, and he was comparing it with a couple. At least I think he was comparing it with a couple of other applications. The main one I think was, oh goodness, can't remember the name of it now. But I thought it was an interesting article. I really think it's worth a read.
W3C has a decentralized protocol spec. That would be interesting.
I was not aware of that about W3C.
Neither was I. So there we go. We learned something today. All right. Thank you, Wandering Moon. And Sam, you're up.
Right, so this is I've never read this person before. I don't even know how to pronounce her name, to be honest with you. It's Diosarich. She responded to a Ladies of Hive prompt and wrote a really moving, very poignant and very inspirational post actually about life with her son as a single mother. And he's got a lot of physical challenges from birth. And it just incredibly moving how she's kind of put her entire life on hold, and given up everything for him, really. And one of the things that, where's this thing now? Try and find, sorry to click back into the post. One of the things that she said that was really, really moving, and somebody else that I know on Hive also picked it up, was in her post she says, well, can you believe it? The whole thing's hanging now. It's true to form, isn't it? It's back. She says, it's just really, really incredible. She says, I am appreciative of sealed gates, detours, and roadblocks. They shield me from channels and dwellings not meant for me. And that's kind of like just a summation of really like looking at everything she's been through, but it's like she's on the right path, regardless of all the challenges she's faced in life with her child. And I just thought that was quite beautiful, really. But yeah, I've engaged with her in the post, and she's really lovely to talk to too. So yeah, go give her a read. Her post hasn't been very well supported so far, and I think she's 5 days in.
Very good. Yeah, I think that it's hard for any parent to deal with a child that's challenged either physically or intellectually. And to have both makes it that much harder.
Yeah, and I think especially as a single parent, I think it makes it incredibly difficult. I mean, I know just with my own child, and I've got a partner, I'm married and I've got that support as well, but it's still, there are days when it almost breaks you, and then there's days that are just absolutely amazing. And so I think when you lack the respite, I think it can be exceptionally challenging.
I do disagree.
Still cut off smiling,
My eldest brother's, well, it'd be his daughter by marriage. It's his wife's daughter, actually. She has a little boy that he's now 12, and he came down with myocarditis as a result of COVID. And normally, it's fairly rare when it happens in young children, but usually it clears up. It has not cleared up with this boy. And he's had 3 strokes in the last 17 months, and his liver is now in failure. So that's been a lot for both the boy and the family to go through.
Yeah, that's incredibly sad.
Oh,
That's hard.
thank you, Kitty Girl. I had forgot to mention that about the Fluency Fun channel. Yes, please go up and click on the emojis. And Dreams Team, you're up. We're waiting on you. We got your link. Where's your
Hilarious. I've had it muted. So I'm laughing and giggling to myself.
Rookie mistake.
You missed my pirate voice too. Arr, it's hunting time, pirates. Oh, okay. So this has been a long time coming. We're super excited. The last one I think we had was in December. And then we just realized it's really difficult to do all of that stuff manually and make it fun and make it engaging and not make it super long. So Ismail made us a bot. So we're super excited. So now that would be my husband. He literally just stopped the vacuum cleaner right before Shadow says it was my turn. So I was like, yay. Yep, he smashed all the glasses everywhere. Yeah, Amir was the uncrowned true winner of the December one. He was having so much fun there. But anyway, the treasure hunt has gotten bigger and better. And as I mentioned in the post, it has not been inactive behind the scenes. That little treasure chest has been building the jackpot, which I just named the Calico Jackpot because I just got a brand new piece of silver with the Calico Jack symbol on it. So I'm super excited. So yeah, if people want to join, your names have been tagged. Some people here have probably already gotten the tag on that post. I will be here in the treasure hunt room from 10:30 to 3:30. So it might cross over a little bit with PYPT. Definitely finish PYPT and then you can hop in to the treasure hunt room. I'm just going to be there all for the next for those 5 hours, kind of in and out, watching to see who jumps in, who wants to try it. There'll be a treasure hunt done today with silly prizes given, like $1 million fake dollars and stuff like that, but just to give people the feel of how to run it. So Saturday it's nice and smooth. So if you need any more details and everything, please go check. You might have been tagged with already some digs for the treasure hunt. Go grab them and do everything that the post says so that you can be ready to go on Saturday, and that is 8 a.m. Pacific. The end.
That would be 11 o'clock normal time. I mean Eastern time.
Yeah, Eastern time.
So as I recall, in December, it took you doing the treasure hunt and 3 of us in behind giving it support, as I recall.
Oh, was it only 3? I don't know. It felt like we were just running a team, and it took 2 hours.
It did.
And it was fun. A lot of people said, even though it was 2 hours, they were having a lot of fun because we were doing, the whammies and stuff and just talking and all that stuff. We'll still have fun, but for people who are just kind of like, I don't want to do that whole thing. I just want to jump in, see if I want anything and jump out. They can still do that. So, and just so everybody knows, if there's staff in here, staffs will start at 9. And of course, staff, because you're different, you will have the treasure hunt room open all day long, and you can jump in and jump out as needed. And then at the end of the 24 hours, I'll go in, tally what your stuff is, and then give it to you. So staff gets that because staff makes so many, concessions. They give up so much that they get special stuff just for them. That's it. Yeah. Any questions, definitely jump into Discord, ask me, tag me, or comment on the post, and I will try to help.
That's an interesting phrase you used there, Dreep. Staff are different.
Oh, yeah. Our staff is very different.
Some of us more than others.
They have to be. That's a prerequisite to be on the dream team. You must be different.
Very difficult. Thank you, Dream. And Amy, you're up. Now we're going to see how Amy's network's doing today. Ah. And she's not going to try voice today. She says, a story from my past. Creative nonfiction. And you all know
that's not my link though. I want to do voice. That was how I copied the link.
Aha. So did you put up the wrong one or did you put up the right one?
No, that's the right link. It's not my post.
Yeah,
it's
you're
someone's
sharing
post
someone
that
else's.
I like. Yeah.
That's okay.
While creating this morning and dream part, I fell in love with this particular post. It's about the petrichor. Like we all know, the scent after rain. This person talked about how the scent reminded her of some sweet, bitter memories. It was really emotional. Like I felt really bad about it. I do not want to spill all the details, but go check it out and just read for yourself and see what happened and why this scent remains a sweet bitter feeling for this particular person. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Amy. I didn't know until the other day, Dream, that Dira was getting nailed by one of the whales.
Oh yeah, I have 3 posts about that.
Oh, you tagged me in at least one of them. That's how I knew about it.
Yep, and I will actually jump right back into the queue and I will explain what's happening.
Good plan.
With the next one, yes.
Okay. Bimier, you're up.
Hey, in this one, Marriott talked about like the headline explains it very well. Romantic relationships, and he advised that you should take couples constellation and all. I don't want to spoil it too much. So that's all. The headline summarizes it very well.
All right. Thank you, Bimier. Gray asked if getting nailed by a whale was like getting murdered by crows, is it? Yeah, that would sound a little odd when you're not familiar with what the hive chain is.
I was going murdered by pirates, as in The Princess Bride.
Ah.
Yeah, murdered by pirates is good.
Dream will explain that when she comes back on to present her next post. And Xander, you're back. And we'll just tag Bemier there. And this article is a giveaway post. You can win Ecency points here. Just comment down your name and another creator name in the comment of this post to participate. God loves a cheerful giver. You can check this post for details. My mom and I donated Ecency points here to add a little help. All the glory to be to God. Okay. So I really encourage everybody to go to the posts and read them through. Don't just go down to the comments and do your thing. But comments are good. Real comments. Okay, Amir.
Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Well, this is my post. It's a post, like I'm gonna talk about this post, but also the upcoming event. So far we've been having like 2 weeks long contest. This is like we have 3 days left of this one. And you can check this one and see the rules and check the original post. The the prices for this one, like the price pool is like 60 Hive and 2,000 LOLs token. And yeah, it ends on Sunday. However, and this is the interesting part, we immediately start one on Sunday with $150 prize pool. The winner will take $100 like directly sent to their Hive account. And it's basically gonna be, and this is me cheating for everyone here who wants to join. It's gonna be titled Dating Chronicles. So basically, we talk about funny things that happened to you on one date or two or whatever, like whatever you make from it. And yeah, it's gonna be like sponsored with an outside, like non-Hive website, and it's very exciting because like it's one of the first time like I talked to the guy and like it's been postponed and like they weren't unsure. So I wanted to make this one very big. The next one is going to be on Sunday, like it's going to launch immediately at the end of this one. The current one is also one you can participate in for a chance to win. The winner gets 30 Hive. And yeah, like just bring your funny bone, and I think you're going to enjoy the contest. Like a lot of things, like a lot of funny posts have been posted.
All right. Uh-oh. Dream's already thinking about a fun dating story. Seki, you've got a hot mic there. You should mute, please.
For the sake of your husband, I hope it's not recent.
Well, unless she's dating him.
Oh, that would be a fun way. Well, yeah, I hope everyone joins in. Like it's very exciting, and you know, if it works out the way they, because they laid out like what they expect in return, like not, you know, like for future contests, like they laid out what they're expecting in return, and I hope it works out.
Grace says just how to pick just one funny dating story. Maybe you
And
could
that's the
blend a
funny thing.
couple together then, and nobody know the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Like put a couple of them, or you know, just talk about like dating life. Like this one happened in this date, this one happened. Like it just have to be like just put the word date, even if you're like referencing a time, and just put the word date in the post, and we'll go through.
Here you go, Gray. Dating diaries.
Oh man, I hate that my brain's going to be thinking about this so much.
I know, and he's going to be blaming it on me.
Just remember to wait on Sunday for that one.
Starts on Sunday. And Dream, you're up.
Okay, I have to do something a little bit different here. I'm just going to put the links here, but then I'm going to take away the embed so it's not so ugly and crazy as soon as the embeds pop up. Okay, there we go. Okay. So the reason why I put 3 there is because really, in order for you to understand the last one, you'll need to go back to the beginning. So here's the whale war. For people who don't understand what a whale war is, it's basically when 2 very large accounts with a lot of money in their wallets, who are often, not always, but who are often here to make money. Okay, and we don't hate that because since they want to make money, they allow for us to have an economy because they're willing to invest their money. So I'm not hating on whales, okay? The problem is sometimes a whale does not agree with how another whale is using their voting power. Sometimes a whale will just say, I really don't care what I'm upvoting. I just need to get rid of every day, I need to get rid of my daily votes. And whatever's there, I'm going to vote on. And a lot of people do not like this because it's just throwing the rewards around to people who are being rewarded for poor quality content, and then that kind of brings the whole platform down. So you'll have another whale that will say, I don't like this, stop doing it. And then there's a disagreement, and then basically they go back and forth, and then they downvote each other, and it's just this big whale war. The biggest problem is when they have to create more noise because they're not getting their way, and then they start involving other people that are not at all involved in their whale war. And that's what we just kind of call collateral damage, just like a regular war. So right now there is a whale war happening that is affecting a lot of people. It gets even more complicated because the bad guys and the good guys aren't always bad guys and good guys. Sometimes they trade, and that's what's happened here. A traditional kind of good guy, or at least how he's been viewed, is now engaging in stuff that's hurting a lot of good accounts. And so we've asked him to stop, and he won't because he has his own reasons. And so the first post was my appeal to that. We had a really good writer who really depends on the money. We have a lot of people on Hive that actually depend on the money. Right, wrong, or indifferent, they depend on the money. And she just kept getting some more and more and more, downvotes. And it starts to get very discouraging when you're writing and you see this nice upvote that comes and then immediately get whacked by another downvote that takes it away. Also, is possibly the fact that one of the whales is actually taking more than the original vote. That's up for debate. He says he's not. Other people say they can prove it, but we'll see. But anyway, I came up with a proposal, which was the second post. You don't have to really read that if you don't want to, but the third post is pretty exciting. Because after the second post, which was the proposal, we had a lot of people who were reaching out to me publicly and privately. Many more were reaching out privately, and I'll let you guess why. And if you don't know why, it's because they don't want to get targets on them to be now the next, wave of people that get hit by an angry whale. So a lot of people are just afraid to speak out. And some people feel like they don't really have enough knowledge of what's going on to speak out. But a lot of their comments in my DMs are absolutely spot on, just common sense, logical. So I just want to encourage people, if you really feel like you want to speak out, just do it respectfully and kindly and just speak your mind. But after seeing what happened on the proposal, a lot of people who were kind of excited to see what we were going to do came back and said, we don't think this is going to pass, and we're not really thinking that this is the best thing. I had asked for some community support through the DHF. I'm not going to go into that. But they said absolutely what it's for. I disagree. I think that's exactly what it's for. But again, so I was ready to just kind of walk away and say, okay, well, I've put my proposal out there. And if anybody wants to piggyback or even take all of my proposal and tweak a few things and take it, it's yours. Do whatever. And then Sam had a brilliant idea. A lot of my proposal and the funds that I was asking from the DHF, she said, we already do this in Dreamport. Why not just have Dreamport be the one that's vetting these posts and screening? Because we already do that. And if we just invite people who think that they might be kind of needing help or even just spreading the word about Dreamport, why don't we have them come through there? And then if those posts get hit, then we'll use our, ability to help them that way. And it was pretty freaking brilliant because it just started aligning a bunch of things. And so now the proposal is it will be privately funded. And so we don't need the DHF, and we don't need to do all these posts for transparency, because the same way that a whale can use their upvote indiscriminately and not have to tell anybody why they're doing that, I can do the same thing with my tipping. And I can tip anybody that I want in any way that I want. And that's the beauty of tipping as well, because a whale can't come by and take away the tip. So we've tried to kind of bypass all of the nonsense. We're trying to bring more people to Dreamport. We're trying to help them, and there will absolutely be a cost, but I am going to attempt to foot the bill myself in the beginning, and then we'll see what happens. And I'm willing to do a lot to see if this will work. And I know I've been criticized in the past and still continuing that I put myself out there and I pay for things when I shouldn't and all that stuff. I understand that. I'm still willing to make the sacrifice because I think it's needed. And I also think it's going to help Dreamport. So it's not a completely like altruistic thing. I think it's going to be a win-win-win-win. So I know that was a big, long explanation. I thank you for all listening. Please give this final one at least a look and maybe encourage, people that this could work. If you see anything that could be done better, absolutely drop your comments and make suggestions. Or if you don't want to do it publicly and you want to come to my DM, go ahead and do that too. Thank you. The end.
So, were you going to do like a tipping pool, or were you going to use the voting power of Dreamport?
We're going to do both. So I'm going to supply what we had originally done on the proposal was $35 a day, and that was going to cover 3 admins and then $5 a day for rewards. I know that $5 a day is not going to cover that, but we have to start somewhere. So $5 times 30 days a month is $150, and I'm paying for that myself. How I would probably, hope to defray some of that cost is just with my writing. I will not be doing report posts. I know that that's a valid way that people can just say, hey, we want to support you this way. We know that this isn't really like an exciting post, but at least it's like transparency and all that stuff, and we can support. I don't want to do that. There's a lot of stuff that happens that way, and it is effective, but I feel like I don't want to do that. However, old school came up with something that I'm now spinning off of, and I'm thinking, maybe I'll do something a little bit different that I do feel comfortable putting out there, making it interesting, making it fun, and then people can support that. But I'm not sure because my time is very limited, so we'll see what happens there. But we will also be using the Oopsie Daisy account. I'll write it down so that you know how to spell it. It is, of course, double E's. That's from that was suggested by Wes, and I was like, okay, yeah, double E's is definitely going in there. And yeah, so that account already has, I think, maybe about 3,500 HP delegated to it. I've done 1,000. Joe, my husband, has done 1,000. Dreamport, I took some from Dreamport since Dreamport is going to be getting people coming in, hopefully. And if not, delegations are easy to reverse, so it's nothing that people are going to have to lose. And so even if we deplete that account, and even if we don't have anything else to give, we will still upvote with a 0.00, and we'll still leave a comment saying, hey, we're here, we see you, and sorry we've run out of rewards for today, but, it is what it is, and we're still here, like, trying to cheer you on. We know how discouraging it is to be caught in this, but keep your chin up. You're a good writer. We'd love for you to continue to stay, and things will get better. And we're hoping that we will be the solution. Maybe not the final, but definitely a solution. And there's a lot of talk that just stays talk. And literally, over the weekend, I gave it my Mother's Day, and I'm not trying to be like, ooh, pat me on the back. I'm just saying it's important to me. I literally gave it my Mother's Day writing that huge proposal and putting it out there because I think it's important. This is someplace that we love. It's someplace that we believe in. And unless people are really willing to actually stick their neck out and fight for it, it's just not going to happen if everybody just keeps saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not doing anything until somebody else does. Okay, well, we're doing it. So you want to join in? Please join in.
If we'd had a bingo card on who was going to try to replace Bernie Sanders, Markey would not have been on my card.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't get into the he said, she said stuff, but I do see like how he's been hurt. But what my point has been all along, and you can see it in all the comments because people kept trying to take away, from the actual focus, I kept pulling it back to just because you have been abused does not justify you abusing a lot of other people. At some point, the abuse has to stop, and it should stop with you. So, yes, you may have, with your $500,000 wallet on just that one account, you may have been incurring $42 downvotes, and that's a lot. That's a lot. Like, if I got a $42 downvote, that would really hurt me. But I'm sorry, my account is worth $4,600. $4,200 for $4,600, or $42 for, a $40 account is totally different, than $42 on a $500,000 account. And we are told often, suck it up, you're going to get downvotes. But when the whales get downvotes, it's a different story, and they think that they can, like, complain about it. And I just don't think it's right. I don't think it's right if we have to suck up our downvotes, and they have to too.
I think that's probably the way for a lot of people is that they kind of get the concept of downvotes until it happens to them, but it really shows up when a whale does it.
Right, exactly. And, yeah, Sam. So originally in the proposal, I literally tried to think of the smallest amount that people could delegate. So I just said 1% beneficiary post. I'm sorry, beneficiary rewards on their post, 2 oopsie daisy, and 1 HP. And the 1 HP was just so that we could see a list on the delegations of people who have been there. And that got, criticized. And, I just, at some point, we just have to show that we support something, and you can argue until the cows come home about what that amount has to be and blah blah blah. And it wasn't criticized because it was too much. It was kind of criticized because I think they felt like, over time that can be a lot. And then how are we sure that you're using it the right way? And, I get that on some level, but on the another level, I'm like, I've been here since 2016. And if you really want to know who I am, go back and look over my posts. Look how I have stuck up for the community. Look how I have used my own rewards, my own, Steam at one point, my own Hive. Like, I understand that people can't like trust everyone, but if you're going to look at somebody's longevity, like take a look at mine and see if I'm worth trusting. And if not, by all means, walk on by. But if you want to be a part of this, we are asking that you support the initiative before you ask for support yourself. And I really don't think that that's too much to ask for. I don't. So, yeah.
Doesn't matter what you try to do to resolve something, it's going to get criticism. It's the nature of people. So we probably have Gray totally and completely confused at this point. So, Gray, I don't know how familiar you are with the concept of blockchains and how they work.
Uh, more. Let me this way. I'm aware that I don't really understand it.
Okay.
I do understand the concept of it being I understand the basic things from the NFT world, basically, because that was one point we were looking at doing some of those at a place where I was working. But not a whole lot, especially not how it works with the publishing. And while listening, I did actually log into Peaked and have an account now, and apparently have a Hive thing, but I don't understand what it is yet. So like any middle-aged white guy, I'm just going ahead anyway because.
Well, I'll just toss in the fact that I happen to be a senior age white woman, so don't ride on that middle age thing. The when you're publishing on the blockchain, and I will tell you this, I make much more money on Hive than I do on Medium, but then I don't publish every single day on Medium either. There is what is called a reward pool available on Hive, and that comes from the inflation on the chain. I believe it's coming from, and based on the amount of Hive power that we have staked, which means locked in, when we do a vote on somebody's post, they earn according to the amount of Hive power we have locked in. So somebody who's got 500,000 HP locked in and does an upvote of 100% on your post is going to give you a value probably in dollars. I'll use dollars for simplicity. If somebody like me that has about 12,000 HP locked in gives you that vote, you're going to get about 10 or 15 cents is about what it'll work out to. So it's kind of prorated. While there are upvotes that give you income, there's also a counter called the downvote, that when somebody downvotes you, they'll downvote you by that amount. And in some cases, if they're really mean and miserable buggers, they'll wipe out your rewards completely, depending on what you're doing. Downvoting is not as widespread as you might think from this conversation that's going on, But when a whale gets into having an argument with another one and they're using their downvotes to try to win their argument, usually what happens is smaller accounts start getting hit. So in this case, what was happening was a whale was doing upvoting that another whale didn't like. So this other whale that didn't like it come along and said, okay, well, I'm going to downvote. I'm going to downvote by the amount that you've upvoted, which should have brought it to, just wiped out that particular vote. But apparently he's miscalculating, and he's taking more than what the other one upvoted. And it really starts to hurt a good writer. It hurts them doing it in the first place. It hurts even more when they're taking more. So that's the basis of the conversation that's happening.
And then I'll just add just this one quick thing, make it quick. I think a lot of people have made the case that he is actually taking the exact same amount because the other whale has another account that's upvoting. However, the point that I made on the original post was, Marky, are you auto voting? He said, I am not. I am simply reversing what the other whale gave. And I said, okay, are you maintaining then that you are manually reading and curating? Because here's my question. If you are, and you have in the past auto reversed whatever he was doing because it was on spam, can you not, if you're manually doing it, can you not just leave his upvotes when it goes for good posts? And he did not respond because, I think we all can agree, and maybe I shouldn't say this because it's being recorded, but I think we can all agree that Marky is probably a very busy man, and he is not sitting at his computer 24/7 waiting for the next upvote so that he can manually downvote. I'm pretty sure there is some kind of automatic process that is negating that automatically and calculating exactly how much to do it for. So that's really the big issue, that when this guy was upvoting bad content, it made sense for Marky to negate it. But now he's changed his ways for some reason. Could be just to cause a whale war. And he is also powering down. So people are kind of thinking he's doing this just to stir stuff up. That may be the case, but Marky, if you're the good guy, if you're the sheriff, just do right. Stop auto downvoting him until he goes back on his other spree, and just leave people alone. Let them keep the upvotes because they actually deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get if he wants to nail people that are normally spam writers and
Right.
negate those votes. But when you're hitting people that are decent writers, there's a problem with your system.
Yeah. And Amir, no, I don't agree with that, because an upvote and a down is not the same as a gun and shooting somebody. And a downvote is actually a valuable thing to have on a platform, because there are platforms that do not have a downvote, and go there and you will see what it's like. Like, people think like, oh, let's just get rid of the downvotes.
Your
Bad
voice disappeared.
behavior. Oh, can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
I said a downvote is actually a very effective way to stop bad behavior. It's not the best way, and it's not the only way. But when you go to a platform that doesn't have a downvote, you will see all kinds of junk running amok, and there is no way to stop it. And people will just form all kinds of posses and clans and it destroys the platform. I've been on one. It will absolutely take a platform down faster than anything. So a downvote is actually good to use, but it really needs to be used with wisdom. And if you're just going to throw it all around and it doesn't matter who you're killing in the process, that's going to damage the platform even more.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like the wide argument, like it doesn't apply in the wider perspective. Like, you can't just, downvote whoever you want with it. Like, that's why I'm saying it's kind of like that. Like, you can't just hurt someone just because you want it. I'm not saying like it's as bad, and I'm not saying get rid of all of it.
The thing is though, they actually can do that. Like, that's the way Hive is set up, and I think people don't like that, but that is the way that Hive is set up, that if you want to downvote any way that you want, that is your freedom and that is your right. Now, the community can then also choose to use their downvotes to say, well, we don't like you. The problem is they're afraid to do that because whales have so much power and everybody's afraid to do that, oh, well, now we're just going to create another whale war. So it's like, I think a lot of times whales try to set things up so that the community will take over and the community will rise up and say, well, we don't like this and we're going to start using our downvotes. And that's what they want. But they I don't think they do it the right way. I don't. I think they do it in a way that causes more harm.
I think
And I don't
the
mean all whales.
I think anyone who's on Steam can certainly see the value in using not only downvotes but also upvotes, because during the struggle that went on with the Sun, we were using our upvotes to actually try to bring order to the platform. Now he was able to override eventually by dodgy means, but people saw in no uncertain terms that those little votes that you think have no power collectively have power.
Absolutely.
They make a difference. One example was aggroed when one of the big accounts decided that they were going to vote him for top 20 witness. The community with their small votes put him back in. So it can be done. The other benefit of having downvotes available, most of your posts that you look at where there is engagement, it stays pretty civil. Go on over to Facebook and Twitter and see how civil that stuff stays. It gets pretty nasty on those platforms, and yet you have pretty civil conversations over here.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. You make a really good point that, when you know that because there's too many people that, sit behind their screen and they're anonymous and they think that nothing, there's no kind of repercussion. But when you know that there's definitely repercussions for you running your mouth, you know what I mean? It makes you go, you know what? I think I might have a better way to say this. Maybe I'll just be a little bit more respectful. Yeah.
Yeah, there's arguments can be made both directions, but I think overall that the system of upvotes and downvotes generally works, and then we get these anomalies.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dream. I hope that didn't confuse you too much, Gray. It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot, and obviously I've got a lot of stuff to learn about. Yes.
Guess what? You happen to know somebody who's willing to explain. In
I
fact,
appreciate that.
several of them. That's one of the big things that several of us in this particular call and others have actually made a point of doing on the Hive chain, is being willing to assist people in understanding it. And if you go to the top of my account, you'll find a pinned series of posts there on getting started on the chain.
Cool. That'll help. Thank
And
you.
yes, I'm Shadows Pub for some strange reason. Amy, you're up. And I see her typing. Yes, he is, Seki. In fact, he just opened a Hive account today. I think it was in self-defense. I'm not sure.
Okay. So this post is the TTT one I did on Tuesday. I chose 3 songs that goes with a theme that says "Take charge of your life," and we all know that most of us have a lot to show the world, but sometimes we wonder where or when we're going to make it, and we sometimes wonder if we're ever going to get the chance to show the world the stuff we're made up of. And because probably doors keep slamming and we just get frustrated. Just like Hive too. Most of us want to be seen, heard, and read, but sometimes things like we just discourse shows up and we get discouraged. So the song I chose here is like taking charge of your life. I chose 3 songs. So you could just check it out and see the write-up and how inspiring it is for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Good job. And that's actually good timing because Seki, I've already added you actually. Amy, you won the 1 HBI. And Kitty Girl, you won the 3.
Thank you very much.
And Bemye, you are up.
I really love her style, her writing style. I think that she is a really good writer, and you surely do read her what she is writing. She don't often post, but when she posts anything, it is good. It's really good.
Is that an image of hers?
Yeah, she mentioned that she made it, but I guess she made it with an AI. But either way, it looks really good.
Well, making it in AI is using another medium. So yes, she made the image. That would have been an interesting prompt to do. Death of the Swans. Check that out. All right. Thank you, Bemi. And Xander, you are up. And it says, my Mother's Day post is full of life, nature reviews, and foodies. Enjoy reading. Mom won all the prizes in this contest, first, second, and third. Now, how did she win first, second, and third? Was she the only person that entered? Amir says that sounds rigged. Well, congratulations on however many she won. And Gray, you're up. And Xander says she was the only one who participated.
Yeah, I was actually gotta find it now. There it is. I thought I'd share my most popular recent article. Most of my writings for the last 6 months has had to do with ADHD. I'm one of those late diagnosed people, which means, of course, you have to write about it all the time. And this one really apparently resonated with a lot of people, and so I'm sharing it on the off chance that people here like it too.
Okay.
And that should be a friend's link.
So is there a difference between being ADHD and neurodivergent, or is it the same thing?
It's a subset. ADHD people are neurodivergent. All neurodivergent people are not necessarily having ADHD. So there's the big category of neurodivergence, and there's lots of other things underneath that are the subsets. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the neurodivergent is the root, and then the rest comes underneath.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I catch on. Good. So anything you've put over on Medium, you can cross post back over to Hive.
Yeah, I already did that with the first article I posted, and I'll probably do it with this one too.
Oh, you didn't waste any time, did you?
Yeah, life's too short. I was surprised to see there isn't an ADHD community in Peaked anyway. I don't know if that's the same as Hive or
okay,
not.
One thing that you're going to take a little bit to get used to, but we'll start you with it now. Any of the front ends for posting on Hive are all part of Hive. It's one account. So if you post on Peak D today and tomorrow you come across Ecency and you go, oh, I'm going to post there, you don't open a new account. You just use your account and log in.
Got it.
So we call
Okay.
it one account to rule them all.
Okay.
There's
Wonderful.
an app called D.Buzz, and it's a Twitter-like app. So you can post what would be a tweet on there, and while you're posting it on there, you can actually send it to Twitter. So usually, if I do I'm going to do a post on Twitter, I will do a D.Buzz and send it to Twitter, because I can earn income on D.Buzz, but I can't earn it on Twitter.
Interesting. Oh, wow.
And
Look at this rabbit hole.
I usually will post on Hive before I post on Medium, but that's something that you'll figure out your own flow on that one.
Right.
And
Thanks.
Dream says, let me know which URL you want to add to Dreamport. You can use your Medium link or your Hive link, whichever one you want the visits to go to. Actually, your Hive one would be a good idea.
Yeah, I figured that's how I put it there. I'll use the one that's on my Hive. I'll find the link somehow and get it to you.
So what I'm laughing at is Tramp was just in underneath the coffee table and decided to attack something underneath it, and she jumped and hit her head on the coffee table. Tramp is one of my cats. Her choice, Wandering Moon. I didn't make her jump. Speaking of Wandering Moon, you're up. Oops, isn't that the link you wanted? Oh, sorry, Amy, what was the question?
In the comment.
Oh, Amy asked if the 3-Tune Tuesdays can be dropped into Dreamport.
You told me not to do that, and I messed up and I did it again. That's a comment link.
That's okay. I'll filter it
There,
out.
I got it. I got the link. The actual just posted it.
It's a post that was done entering a prompt contest or something like that. It's really, I don't know. I think it's good.
Dark Revelations at the Summer House. Kemi writes some really excellent fiction.
Yeah, his protagonist goes back home to live with her parents after her companion committed a crime. But in order to find out more about it, you're going to have to read it.
Oh, Gray, I should have asked you what your account is on Hive. He's typing it in. Oh, how logical.
Fun to be consistent.
So, Kitty Girl is going to send you some pimp tokens. Those are what is called a second layer token. And yeah, I can explain that. So, here's the answer to Amy's question. Be sure you have enough text on the 3-Tune Tuesday post. And best not to use lyrics in your post. That's copyright material. You can use snippets of the lyrics if they are small. Make a point and expound on the lyrics, but if you have a large portion of lyrics, it'd be rejected by the screeners. Not screamers. And that's actually protecting you. Because music lyrics, even more than writing, composers and artists really protect them, and you can get sued for the damnedest things. So yeah, don't use very much. Yeah, I laughed at that too. I'm good at messing up words. Okay. Thank you, Wandering Moon. And Amir, you're up.
All right. Here we go. This is actually the reason I'm sharing this one. It's a comedy post on the contest I'm running, and it's actually kind of relating to the whale thing we were talking about. And it's basically Blanchie wrote a parody of sort of a whale trying to find good content, and they go through their strict strict conditions of what meets a great content when it comes to the little people. But then he goes in and he sees like his buddy the other whale posting a gif of some gif or something, and he just decides to upvote it 100%. It's a very funny post, and I think like people should get a laugh out of it. And you should follow the account. He's about to post a parody of me, actually, in the account next.
A parody of you. Oh gosh, I
Yeah,
didn't know it was possible to have a parody of Amir.
yeah, no, my whole existence is a parody. But basically, like I had like some strict things about the rules because no one was following them in the newsletter, and he just like ran with it, and he's about to post it. I was like, yeah, go for it. Like, if I can't laugh at myself, what can I laugh at? So.
If you laugh at yourself, you get ahead of the rest of the world. Thank you, Amir. Seki, you're up. And Seki won the 5 HBI. Congrats. Ooh, he's doing text today. And he says, I've had a pretty weathering week with school and everything. Best thing about last week were the clouds, so I took a look through my gallery of last week's clouds. Was life a little cloudy for you, Seki? And Cherry. Ah, you had a bad week. Well, that was because you didn't make it to PYPT, see? When you show up at PYPT, life's better. Oh, sorry, Xander. Xander, you're up. And Xander says, two people meet each other with an embarrassing moment. Started with a mess. Please read and enjoy. See? Amir just validated what I said. He actually got fired during a week he missed PYPT.
And my brother-in-law, nonetheless, like it wasn't even like some stranger.
Your brother-in-law fired you.
Yeah.
That's got to be a special segment of bad in order to get fired by family.
Yeah. And he screamed like by the time I was leaving. He was like, "That's what you get for missing PYPT."
There you go.
Which was odd because he doesn't know about it.
Thank you, Xander. Seki, you're up. Seki. Did we lose him? Or is he losing himself? Don't see you typing, Seki. Where are you? We're waiting for your link. There we go. He's going to come on voice on this one.
Sorry. This is my story for the intro. Intro prompts chocolate, not the prompts because of the bad week, I have to rest for that to get the reward or whatever, but I still just get write the story on it. So, quick and stuff. Chocolate love. How's it go?
I love chocolate, but I haven't really been into chocolate love. I have to think on that. Thank you, Saki. And Meme, you're up. And there she is.
Love the voice that you're making say you're up.
Pardon me?
I hope when you say you're up, it's really nice to hear that. I don't know the voice you're having when you say that. It's really pleasing, I guess.
Good.
And this one is about narcissists. Like I said, me and my heartbreaks. I guess I am the Taylor Swift on Hive. I really love writing about my heartbreaks, and this is one of them.
All right. So you wrote about your heartbreak.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I mostly do that.
Pardon me?
I mostly do that. Like all of my posts. Not recently, but when I first begin to Hive, like all of my posts about my heartbreaks and my sadness and my sorrow and all.
So now you can mix in some other kinds of post, right?
Yeah. I did share some recipes, some other heartbreaks, but not like mine. Some of my friends, and I am trying to my best to write about something else.
So you kind of need your heart to live, so you need to let it mend and write about other stuff. How's that? And Amy, you are up next. Thank you, Beme. And Amy, there she is. She's typing. Okay.
So this is a picture prompt from the free writer community. That picture there, I wrote a story about abundant shame, how the demise of a fictional dad, not my dad, created this bond before he died. So just go check it out. I think the story, after writing it, I was like, wow, I like the story. But I don't know if you like it as well. So just check it out and see what I wrote. Thank you.
Very good. So I take it from those two posts, Bemier and Amy were both writing on the. Take care, Gray. Good to see you. You're both writing on the same picture prompt. That makes for different perspectives on the same picture. Excellent. And Wandering Moon, you are up. Okay, Wandering Moon, tell us about this.
This is a post from Blitz on a little bit of history on WWE, WWF collectible figures.
Okay.
I think I said that. I think I put it the right way. The miniature figurines that they started putting out in the 90s, I think. 80s? I don't know.
That's what the
the
post says.
the whole collectibles thing itself is kind of confusing to me. So I just thought it was a good read because I hadn't. To me, the whole wrestling thing was something that my grandfather liked doing, and so when there was a match, us kids would sit there and watch the wrestling with him.
I know that feeling. My husband was into wrestling.
It's
He
not
didn't
my
do wrestling, he
grandpappy's
watched
wrestling.
wrestling. I got more knitting done while he was watching wrestling than any other time of the week.
Did you hear me?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
It's not my grandpappy's wrestling.
Well, actually, it was back in the same time frame. My husband died in the late 80s. So it would have been right around that same time.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant the way they have it now, as opposed to back when I was a kid watching it with my grandfather.
I haven't even looked at what it's like now. I couldn't stand it then. I wouldn't even look now. I only watched then because he was watching it. And then I didn't really watch. He just thought I was. Thank you, Wandering Moon. And Seki, you are up. Okay, tell us about this.
Well, I came online, I think on Wednesday or so on Hive, and I just saw Simple January recently. I don't know how to pronounce that name early, but I saw their entry to the memorial calendar, right? I didn't even know what it was about, but and I just saw the post and stuff. I was just inspired to write about my own losses and stuff. So yeah, I wrote about it and I posted it. I'm just hearing now though that I'm going to submit it to Dreamport today, and my payout is due in the next 6 hours. So I don't know how that might is going to work. But anyhow, this is my entry into the Dreamport challenge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you're going to try to get one today writing about somebody from outside your family. Which is, I thought was a interesting approach. Amir, you're up.
Maybe if I am.
Hello.
You can do it.
I believe in you a second. Doesn't. Okay, so here it is. I know not many people here are football or soccer fans, but this is a very nice story or a lesson to learn about Alexander Hlep's career. Like basically, he went from this good, great club to an even bigger club, and it kind of ruined his life. And so basically, I decided to like do a whole research about it, and that's when I found out like some, as you can see, the truth about the comfort zone, because a lot of people, and it became like a psychological state and something that motivational speakers always say, like, don't get stuck in the comfort zone, and people always refer to the comfort zone as this negative thing. And so basically, like when I did further digging, I found out that it's not even like a psychological thing. It started by, it's a term coined by a business manager called Alasdair White, and it's called the White-Fairhurst performance hypothesis. And it's basically like the whole concept of the comfort zone and why it's bad and why you need to like revolt against it is actually done to the benefit of like economical corporations and institutions, because once those companies like get in the comfort zone, they start declining. So it becomes the goal of the institution to make sure that the employees aren't too comfortable. And it applies to the player because it kind of ruins, he basically like ruined his career in a way, chasing this area, like not to be comfortable, because he was comfortable at this club and he was performing at the highest level. So there's this balance I tried to create. Like he would have been happy. Like so, basically, like it's not something that you don't want to always be in your comfort zone and not have motivation, but also stop looking at being in your comfort zone as a bad, horrible thing that you need to like get rid of as fast as possible. And that's what the post is about. I think football fans may or may not like it, but I think it's more directed to people outside football or soccer.
Yeah, so basically, if you're comfortable with the way your life is and you're happy the way it's going, then stay in the comfort zone. But 9 times out of 10, to affect change, you have to get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, basically his situation was about identifying which one was better. Like maybe I'm performing at my best here because I'm comfortable. Like it was this kind of intricate part about it that made this story in specific interesting. It applies to a lot of players and people in general. Like sometimes you see someone moves to a bigger company. Like there was this guy who moved. It's actually a sad story, but there was this guy who moved from Apple to this new startup that was going on, and he was basically miserable, or maybe it was the other way around, and he was miserable for 6 months, and he met a tragic end because of that. And so it's like maybe you're just at a certain point, maybe for a year or two, you're just meant to be comfortable and happy with your the current situation as it is.
Yeah, I can see the argument with the business that if they're in their comfort zone, that instead of sticking with making sure that they at least uphold their standards that put them in the comfort zone, they do have a tendency to get complacent and service slides. But certainly with people, it becomes an individual choice.
Yeah, this is a topic for another thing, but yeah, that's like actually why you always hear about these different types of management. Like they keep changing stuff, like work hours and stuff. And actually, yes, it benefits companies and economical institutions, but employees are getting more miserable. Like if you look at the index, I forgot what it's called. Like it's basically about the employees' happiness index, paraphrased, of course. Like it's getting lower and lower. People are getting less happy with their jobs because so many changes happen, and like so much pressure is put on employees that you kind of drain them before like having to let them go, because you basically drained the person and they're no longer of use to you. But that's a long
I think
topic.
you can kind of make an argument too that there seems to be a lot of displeasure in life for people with their lives in general, and they will generally blame their job first. So sometimes it actually is the employment, and sometimes it's just they're unhappy people.
Yeah, it's like basically everything go, and you have to go like almost case by case
Yeah,
basis.
but it's an interesting
Agreed.
subject to look at and explore. That's for sure.
Yep. I actually wrote a long series about that, but not gonna bring it up now.
Yeah, you only did a 1,200 word post. Kind of, kind
Oh,
of short for you.
yeah, no, that the one about business was actually 8,000 in total.
Yeah, that's more you. All right.
All right, next.
Thank you, Amir. Xander, you're up.
Thank you.
There it is. There he is. Okay. Mom went to a party, but she always wants to stay more at home, so she only stayed for a short time. Read more, please. My mom loves her family more above all. Or your mom could be a introvert that doesn't like going out. Okay. Thank you, Xander. And Strega, you are up. Oh, sorry. Amy is up. Thought I saw you drop an emoji. Maybe I was wrong. Let me scroll back. Nope, you didn't.
Okay, so this.
You didn't. I don't know why I saw your name associated with one. Good catch. Okay, well then I'll call on you next. Okay, tell us about this, Amy.
Okay, so this verse here is a poem. I love the poem so much. This usually describes the bed pangs and what ladies or women go through. Like the way she described it, I could only imagine the pain that women go through while giving birth. So I know mothers in the house, you could check this out. Even the fathers, you could check this as well and see um the way it was described. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Amy. Wes says he can buy for a quick hello. We could stop talking about him now. Nut bar. So Strega is scrambling to finish a post that she wants to share. I might as well mention now. I put in to be a, I guess you call it an artist, on NFT Showroom yesterday because I've had several people mention to me that I should make NFTs out of some of the generative art that I've been doing. So I guess I'm playing around with something new again. Anybody else using NFT Showroom? Strega isn't yet. I see Amir typing.
Well, I do have a few NFTs. They're not ones that I've created, but I bought a few. So I did NFT showroom with it.
I've got a couple there that I think there's two that one was gifted to me, and I think the other one I may have bought. That I had a guy on Instagram messaging me the last few days. You know, like, I'd buy your NFT collection. So I messaged him last night, and I says, yeah, it's going to be on the Hive chain. Here's where you can find them. I'll let you know when they're there. Oh, I know Hive. I won't buy on Hive. So then it turns out that he's got an NFT marketplace. Yeah, you can get them on Hive. Thank you very much. I would rather put them where they're feeless for the customer. Why the other guy said not Hive? Because he was trying. I think he was trying to work himself up to making a sale, and he wasn't getting one. If you go into where it says to do your profile, Wandering Moon, you set up your profile, and I found that I had to refresh, and then you could just go ahead and down at the bottom of that page. It's basically you say you agree to the terms of service and you apply to be whitelisted. Stickman NFT. Okay, Strega. That's true. There is instructions in the FAQ.
Okay, so it's fresh from factory. I just need a few moments to edit my pictures. So I was working on this drawing yesterday and today, and you will see for yourself what it is. But like the writing or article itself, it's about your in actually about mine inner monologue, let's say. I don't know, whatever other people have this way. But yeah, I have, and I hope you will find this interesting. I hope so, and not frightening somehow. More compelling, if so. Yeah, I don't think I have much to say about it. I hope you just like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Strega. And no, Seki. Strega is a lady.
I think I was chatting with someone on the comments that I'm giving some male ripples, or I don't know, energy or whatever.
No, there's
And
there's
like,
sometimes assumptions made, Strega. There's still a lot of people, even after the number of years I've been on the chain, who think I'm a guy.
like I don't mind that. Don't get me wrong. And like I was chatting. I can't remember who was that, but like I have quite a high level of testosterone, so maybe that's what it is. But yeah, like I don't mind, like better to be like I'm actually writing in my post about ambivalence and this kind of stuff, so maybe yeah, maybe there is something there. Yeah.
I think a lot of times it's just assumptions, and then all of a sudden they go, "Oh, wait a minute, there's women on the
It,
blockchain."
because like with gaming stuff, that's kind of common. Yeah, you are a guy until you say you are not. But better to be guy during the gaming, because like this way you are not, judged harshly.
So Strega, I don't know if you've ever read any of the work by Michael Singer.
I don't think I did.
He One of the things he writes about is what you referred to as the inner dialogue.
Mm.
He calls it the inner roommate. I love that term.
I would add roommate.
Yeah, that
Many,
constant dialogue in our
many.
minds is kind of like having a roommate that never shuts up.
Oh my gosh, the worst, the worst. Yeah, it's really hard to just get into sleep and stuff, but yeah, that's what it is. Very annoying one.
Exactly. Seki gets taken as a female. I'm glad to know that it works in reverse, Seki. Does anybody else have anything they want to share? Okay. Up. Seki wants to get in last on the list. And speaking of women and males,
Well, it's coincidence I was talking about exactly is just pure coincidence. But anywho, I don't know. I think everybody should know by now, but like there's a lot of traffic going on about the Nigerian cook that wanted to break the world record, stuff like that. But if you go on Twitter, you see dragging a lot of memes, a lot of people dragging their nationality and stuff. I was just thinking like, yeah, the woman can of the man that did that stuff. Just thinking little stuff like that. So I just try to use as my what women can do. So like talk for a minute. How okay, yes. I guys I would like you guys just tell me out. Hello?
I hear you.
Hello.
I hear you.
I don't know, I'm out of this. Okay, so let me just continue. There's just three songs in there, right? They're just
Pardon me?
different parts of woman. Then the last song isn't actually about a
You're coming
girl,
through a little
but
muffled,
it
Seki.
should be used as a girl.
Seki,
Hello, hello,
you're sounding muffled.
testing. I hear me now.
Come in a little closer to the mic.
I hear me now.
Much better. Try
Okay.
again.
Yeah, so like I was saying, the last tune there is actually not for a girl. but it can still be used in a girly kind of sense. It's a guy that misses his best friend. You can actually say that that's a girl. Anywho, just listen to it, have fun, and see how women can be. So that's that for Teen Greetings Tuesday. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Saki. Yeah, I generally work on the basis of what can a woman do? Anything she bloody wants to. All right. I think we're about complete for today. And you've been listening to Shadows Pub host, Pimp Your Post Thursday. Thank you for joining us on PYPT and join us next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, keep on creating, and it's all about community. And oh, bye, Wilma.